There are couples the zodiac creates for comfort, couples it creates for passion, and then there are the pairs it brands into each other so deeply that even distance, silence, pride, new lovers, and passing years cannot fully erase the bond. These are not always the easiest love stories. In fact, the hardest people to let go of each other are often the very ones who know how to wound, tempt, test, and haunt one another the most. They may break up 3 times, swear they are done forever, block each other, move to different cities, and still feel that invisible thread pull tight again at the most unexpected hour. One song, one scent, one late night memory, one impossible coincidence, and suddenly the whole story comes back alive. Why does this happen? Because in astrology, some couples do not simply match. They awaken something ancient in each other. One partner touches the other's deepest hunger, hidden fear, or secret dream. One becomes home, the other becomes destiny. One feels like safety, the other feels like fire. And when a relationship gives both security and obsession, tenderness and challenge, familiarity and mystery, it becomes almost impossible to replace. People do not easily let go of those who made them feel more alive than they had ever felt before. But here is the real secret. The strongest magnetic bonds are not always between two easy, peaceful signs. Very often, the most unforgettable couples are built from opposites, karmic mirrors, and emotional extremes. They cannot imagine life without each other, because together they feel bigger, brighter, deeper, stronger. In this horoscope, I am revealing the zodiac couples who cling to each other's souls the longest, whether they admit it or not. These are the duos who can walk away physically yet remain emotionally tied for years. If you have ever felt that one person was impossible to replace, there is a reason. The stars remember what the heart tries to deny. 1. Scorpio and Taurus. This is one of the most powerful I can't quit you pairings in the entire zodiac. Scorpio and Taurus sit opposite each other in astrology, and that creates a magnetic pull that is almost primal. Taurus gives Scorpio something very rare: steadiness, loyalty, sensual warmth, and the promise that love can be real, not just intense. Scorpio gives Taurus something equally addictive: emotional depth, irresistible chemistry, mystery, and the feeling that love can be life-changing rather than simply comfortable. Together, they awaken both desire and attachment on a frighteningly deep level. Why can't they imagine life without each other? Because each gives the other what they secretly crave most. Taurus wants a love that feels solid but unforgettable. Scorpio wants a love that feels total, soul level, beyond ordinary words. When these two truly fall, they do not love lightly. They imprint. Even after separation, they often compare everyone else to each other and feel disappointed when the same intensity is missing. Probability of a strong union, 92%. If both are emotionally mature, this couple can build a bond that lasts decades because they are both loyal, committed, and far more serious about love than people realize. What prevents them from connecting their destinies? Stubbornness, possessiveness, silence. Taurus can become emotionally immovable, while Scorpio can become suspicious or controlling when afraid. Neither likes to look weak, so instead of saying "I need you," they may test each other, punish each other, or wait for the other to surrender first. 2. Cancer and Capricorn. This is the couple people often underestimate until they see how impossible it is for them to fully move on from one another. Cancer and Capricorn are opposites, but not in a chaotic way, in a fated way. Cancer rules emotion, memory, family, tenderness, and the need to belong. Capricorn rules structure, protection, ambition, reliability, and the instinct to build a future brick by brick. When they come together, they create one of the deepest home and destiny combinations in astrology. Why can't they let go? Because Cancer feels safer with Capricorn than almost anyone else, even if Capricorn does not always know how to say the right emotional words. Capricorn, in turn, feels deeply needed, softened, and genuinely loved by Cancer in a way that breaks through their usual emotional armor. Cancer becomes the heart. Capricorn becomes the spine. One nurtures, the other stabilizes. It is an incredibly hard bond to replace because each one fills a role in the other's soul. Probability of a strong union, 89%. This pairing has real marriage energy, legacy energy, and grow old together potential when both choose the relationship fully. What prevents them from connecting their destinies? Fear expressed in different languages. Cancer fears emotional neglect. Capricorn fears losing control. Cancer may think Capricorn is cold. Capricorn may think Cancer is too sensitive. In truth, Both care more than they show. 3. Leo and Aquarius. This is the kind of pairing that feels electric from the beginning. Leo and Aquarius may seem wildly different on the surface, but that difference is exactly what creates the spell. Leo burns with passion, warmth, pride, romance, and the desire to feel chosen. Aquarius lives through originality, distance, brilliance, unpredictability, and a quiet refusal to belong to anyone too easily. Leo is drawn to what it cannot fully tame. Aquarius is drawn to people who make life feel vivid. Together, they create a love story that is impossible to call boring. Why are they so hard to let go of? Because they awaken fascination in each other. Leo sees Aquarius as rare, brilliant, and impossible to copy. Aquarius sees Leo as radiant, loyal, and thrillingly alive. They may fight, separate, and even pretend to move on, but the memory of how intensely they inspired each other can linger for years. These are the EXEs who still check on each other in subtle ways. The bond is full of pride, but also full of unfinished feeling. Probability of a strong union, 84%. When they admire each other instead of competing, this relationship can become extraordinary, creative, passionate, and deeply loyal in its own unique way. What prevents them from connecting their destinies? Pride and emotional style. Leo wants visible devotion. Aquarius wants freedom and room to breathe. Leo may feel ignored. Aquarius may feel pressured. 4. Aries and Libra. This is the couple that often falls fast, fights hard, leaves dramatically, and still cannot quite erase the pull. Aries and Libra are zodiac opposites, and that means they are often irresistibly drawn to what the other represents. Aries is direct, bold, impulsive, passionate, and hungry for life. Libra is elegant, romantic, thoughtful, magnetic, and gifted at making love feel beautiful. Aries brings heat. Libra brings charm. Aries says what everyone else is too scared to say. Libra knows how to make even chaos feel desirable. Why can't they imagine life without each other? Because each offers what the other lacks. Aries teaches Libra courage. Libra teaches Aries tenderness, timing, and emotional refinement. Aries feels more alive around Libra. Libra feels more desired around Aries. Their attraction can be immediate and unforgettable, especially in the early stages. Even when they part, both often remember the other as someone who changed the way they loved. Probability of a strong union, 86%. This can be a powerful marriage or long-term partnership if they learn how to stop turning every disagreement into a battle of ego versus diplomacy. What prevents them from connecting their destinies? Different ways of handling conflict. Aries wants truth now. Libra wants peace first. Aries can become impatient. Libra can become indecisive or passive-aggressive. 5. Pisces and Scorpio. This is one of the most hypnotic and emotionally consuming couples in the zodiac. Pisces and Scorpio do not simply date each other, they enter each other's inner world. Pisces brings softness, intuition, romance, imagination, and a kind of emotional surrender that Scorpio secretly dreams of receiving. Scorpio brings depth, protection, intensity, sensual power, and the feeling that love is not a game, but a transformation. When these two connect, it can feel less like meeting and more like remembering. Why can't they let go of each other? Because both experience love at soul depth. Pisces feels seen by Scorpio in a way that is almost frightening. Scorpio feels trusted by Pisces in a way that melts defenses they thought would never fall. These two often share silence that says more than words, and that is exactly why the bond lingers. Even years later, they may still feel that nobody else understood the hidden parts of them quite the same way. Probability of a strong union, 94%. This is one of the highest potential bonds for emotional intimacy, loyalty, and deep, private devotion. What prevents them from connecting their destinies? Fear, idealization, and emotional extremes. Pisces may ignore red flags because they believe in the dream. Scorpio may test love too harshly because they fear betrayal. If they do not build honesty and emotional stability, the relationship can become too intense to manage. But even when it breaks, it rarely disappears completely from either heart. 6. Gemini and Sagittarius. This is the pair that may laugh like best friends, flirt like teenagers, disappear from each other's lives, and then reappear as if the connection never died. Gemini and Sagittarius are opposites, but they meet each other through curiosity, movement, humor, and mental electricity. Gemini loves wit, freshness, unpredictability, and excitement. Sagittarius loves freedom, truth, adventure, wild hope, and the thrill of what comes next. Together, they create a relationship that feels alive, fast-moving, and impossible to fully forget. Why are they so hard to let go of? Because they make each other feel free and awake. Gemini gives Sagittarius mental stimulation and emotional lightness. Sagittarius gives Gemini big energy, boldness, perspective, and a sense that life could become much larger overnight. Probability of a strong union, 81%. This union can be brilliant, happy, and long-lasting if both partners choose commitment without feeling trapped by it. What prevents them from connecting their destinies? Restlessness, inconsistency, fear of losing freedom. Gemini may avoid depth when things get too serious. Sagittarius may run from routine or emotional heaviness. 7. Virgo and Pisces. This is one of the most mysterious and underrated, impossible to fully release matches in astrology. Virgo and Pisces are opposites, but they meet each other through longing. Virgo often lives through logic, effort, precision, and quiet acts of devotion. Pisces lives through intuition, emotion, compassion, fantasy, and spiritual connection. Virgo grounds Pisces. Pisces softens Virgo. Virgo gives form to Pisces' dreams. Pisces gives heart to Virgo's careful world. Together, they often awaken a love that feels healing, redemptive, and strangely sacred. Why can't they imagine life without each other? Because each one reaches a part of the other that few people can touch. Pisces makes Virgo feel less alone in their tenderness. Virgo makes Pisces feel safe enough to trust life again. One offers care in practical form. The other offers care in emotional form. It becomes very hard to let go of someone who not only loved you, but quietly repaired something inside you. Probability of a strong union, 88%. This relationship has beautiful long-term potential, especially when both people recognize how much power there is in their differences. What prevents them from connecting their destinies? Misunderstanding. Virgo may think Pisces is unrealistic or evasive. Pisces may think Virgo is too critical or emotionally restrained. 8. Leo and Scorpio. This is not an easy couple. It is a consuming one. Leo and Scorpio are often drawn together with explosive attraction because both are powerful, emotionally intense, proud, and impossible to ignore. Leo wants a grand love, loyal, passionate, vivid, unforgettable. Scorpio wants a total love, deep, exclusive, emotionally absolute. Put these two together and the chemistry can be overwhelming from the start. They feel each other instantly. They challenge each other instantly too. Why are they so hard to let go of? Because they leave marks. Leo brings heat, confidence, devotion, and emotional radiance into Scorpio's darker emotional world. Scorpio brings mystery, depth, danger, and soul-level passion into Leo's dramatic romantic universe. Each one feels that the other is no ordinary lover. Even if the relationship becomes stormy, both may secretly feel that no one after will ever match the intensity. Probability of a strong union, 78%. This is a powerful union when both choose loyalty over control and emotional honesty over ego. What prevents them from connecting their destinies? Power struggles, pride, jealousy. Neither one likes to be vulnerable first. Leo wants appreciation and openness. Scorpio wants trust and emotional depth. 9. Taurus and Cancer. This is one of the sweetest and strongest bonds for deep attachment. Taurus and Cancer often form the kind of love that feels safe, soft, loyal, and almost impossible to replace once it becomes real. Taurus brings calm, reliability, sensual comfort, and a steady hand. Cancer brings nurturing, emotional depth, memory, tenderness, and a deep instinct to protect what they love. Together, they create warmth. They create belonging. They create a world that both can relax into. Why can't they let go of each other? Because this bond feels like home. Taurus gives Cancer the stability they crave. Cancer gives Taurus the emotional richness they secretly need more than they admit. This is often the couple that builds rituals, traditions, routines, private jokes, favorite places, and a whole emotional universe together. And when a relationship becomes woven into everyday life that deeply, it becomes terribly hard to erase. Probability of a strong union, 91%. This is one of the most natural long-term pairings for emotional security, family life, and enduring devotion. What prevents them from connecting their destinies? Emotional withdrawal and fear of change. Taurus may shut down instead of discussing pain. Cancer may retreat into moodiness or oversensitivity. 10. Aries and Scorpio. This is the couple that can become addicted to each other's intensity. Aries and Scorpio are both ruled by Mars in traditional astrology, which means both signs know desire, force, hunger, courage, pursuit, and emotional extremes. Aries moves fast, acts boldly, and loves with heat. Scorpio feels everything deeper, hides more, and loves like the stakes are life and death. When they fall for each other, the attraction is immediate, sharp, magnetic, and often impossible to ignore. Why are they hardest to let go of? Because together they feel danger, passion, challenge, and total aliveness. Aries awakens Scorpio's raw desire. Scorpio awakens Aries' obsession. Neither one can remain indifferent. Even when they walk away, the memory of the chemistry can follow them into other relationships. This is one of those couples where the emotional story often feels unfinished no matter how many times it ends. Probability of a strong union, 76%. This bond can become fiercely loyal and powerful, but only if both learn self-control and emotional respect. What prevents them from connecting their destinies? Control, temper, and emotional combat. Aries hates manipulation. Scorpio hates superficiality and loss of control.